How's it going, guys? It's Pico Lopez here from Shamrock Rovers. Make sure to subscribe to Irish Footy Vlogs for all your League of Ireland content.
Welcome back to another international video. We're going to preview Republic of Ireland's game in Luxembourg this Sunday, but we're going to go back and reflect just a little bit, Daz. I obviously done an instant match reaction video. Check that out, guys. Daz actually done a match day vlog as well from the Aviva Stadium, so check them out. They'll just be underneath this video. But Daz, yeah, we'll get your thoughts on the game quickly against Portugal as well.
Yeah, so I think firstly it was great at 50,730 something at the match. Absolutely brilliant. It's the most since everything shut down. It was great to see a full house there and everyone rolling on the boys in green. It was excellent. Ronaldo getting booed. Probably better to see that than them getting absolutely cheered by all the Man United fans.
Absolutely.
No, it was brilliant to see. And I was in the North Stand for the first time ever. I've never in my life sat there in Aviva. I never thought I would. Obviously, it's the away section. That's where I was amongst Portugal fans. That was a bit surreal as well. But
you won't be in the North Stand for the Cup final in a couple of weeks, Daz, though.
No. Won't be there. But there was a good few Portuguese fans there too, Irish fans with me. I suppose looking at the game itself, I thought we had one of our better games under Stephen Kenny, but we're earned points. Anyone is saying Kenny out, like this was Portugal, one of the best teams in the world. The likes of Duffy and Egan and all, Coleman kept Ronaldo out. They had a good few shots blocked, bodies on the line, clearances when needed. They tried to play out from the back as much as they could. They passed it around. It was really, really good, and I thought we had a few good attacking spells too. Again, people will look at the chances and stats on paper and say, well, it wasn't that many, but it's Portugal. Not many teams are going to have that many. I think of another night, if we had took one or two of them chances, we could have won. Obviously, that's a game of what ifs and all. Will Keane came on, which I was kind of surprised to see. I didn't think he'd throw him on against Portugal. Obviously, he actually did well against the keeper to trying to flick it on and hold up all up, which I thought he did really well to do. And obviously, we got the goal ruled out, but that was good to see. I don't really think anyone really had a bad game against
just
Portugal.
Quickly, Daz, on the goal ruled out. I don't know if you've seen it back from the stadium.
I've watched the match back.
I've not seen a foul. I'm not really seeing a foul. Are you?
Yeah. I thought it was very soft. I think the referees these days are too much on the goalkeeper side. They can't even touch a goalkeeper anymore. Or it's not like the goalkeeper fell back or anything, or because he's been hit or anything. Nothing like that happens. So
it definitely falls into the bracket of on another day that could be given.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. And I think the players would be livid that was ruled out. And I think maybe if it wasn't against Portugal, it mightn't have been ruled out. But absolutely unreal stuff. But look, great to get a point. Great to get a draw. And hopefully this sets this up now for the next Nation League's qualifying campaign. Hopefully we can really do something now going forward as a group of players. And because it was great to see it, and it was delighted to be there. So I suppose looking ahead now to the Luxembourg match, we're obviously away from home. Obviously just travelling involved, and it's a quick turnover. For myself, I don't think Stephen Kenny will make wholesale changes. There's no need to. No one had an awful game. I wouldn't be making wholesale changes myself either. Obviously, you have my 1 to 11 that we're going to go through now in a minute. But I think we have a very good chance of going there and getting a win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do think I kind of said this on the preview show? It would have been the preview show for the Portuguese game that in many ways this game is a more important game for Ireland. It's important that they can back it up and get a win in Luxembourg. And as I said on that show a little bit, I alluded to as well, is that performance and display and result, obviously, at home to Luxembourg was probably the worst in the Kenny era, to be fair. For many reasons, to be fair. At least this time, he's got pretty much. There's always one or two injuries. We can accept that with any squad, but pretty much everyone available as much as you can have, really. So there's that element of, we'd expect nearly now to go over there and do a job and get a result. Now there's pressure in that as well. But I do think they'll be very keen to get a win here and sign off on a win, which would be very important because I know we haven't won many games under Kenny, but looking at the other way, now we've lost 1 in 8 suddenly as well. So there's that element as well. So there's a bit of, you can look at it from both sides, but very important we go there and get the win and obviously show what we're capable of back to back, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think we need to go there and get a win. I know we've been saying this last few videos, but I think now is the chance we can go there and actually play with a bit more confidence, because the team was starting to play well under Kenny, and it was a very spirited and passionate display last night, and the players really wanted to play as well. It wasn't like just hoofing long balls. But the important thing, I think, no one's really talking about either, is when the ball had to be cleared, I think the players did it. And that's something they weren't doing previously. Like when there was nowhere to go, it was gone, it was out there. We regrouped, we pushed up, and I thought that was very important. No one really touched on that, even in the studio. No one talked about that, but I think that's an important point to make, because in previous games, like the mix-up there, the back pass there months ago, I can't remember who that was against, but a goal happened from it. That needs to be cleared, and something that we weren't doing, because the players were clearly instructed to never go along. But they started to try diags. Obviously, Bazunu tried to play out to the wings a little bit, tried to play the wide midfielders a bit. And, if it wasn't on goal shot, we were just hitting it a bit longer. Not like a long ball, but just a bit longer. I thought that was important. And I said this before, I think we need to start playing a bit more like that, be more expansive to our play, and have the approach a bit more direct at times when it needs to be, because Portugal's line was extremely high all the time. And I thought that worked out very well. I think if we keep that same kind of element and tempo and how we played that point of the ball against Luxembourg and anything going forward, I think this Ireland team's going to play an awful lot better. And I think that's very important. Weston didn't do that much, but I think when it was done, it was effective.
Yeah, so we'll go with your first 1 to 11 basically now. So I assume you're keeping the same system. I can't see many changes in the actual system in terms of the formation. Now, the actual style of play might change slightly because you change that up and approach, but the actual formation, I think, will be the same. Do you?
Yeah, no, I think for myself anyway, my 1 to 11, I always try and keep it as realistic as I can, but my formation would be the same, and I don't see Stephen Kenny change that either. I think firstly, before I go to who I picked, I think the likes of Coleman did really well as centre back. I was very impressed with him. A great position there. I think you need to be starting him next year as centre back as well. If he keeps playing and keeps injury free, keeps fit, he's really, really good. Obviously, my Bamadella is very good. Collins is too, and they're very young. But Coleman was excellent there. I thought the night that was just great. Like,
this was Doherty actually. Just to quickly mention, I thought Doherty was very good at right wing back as well.
And obviously, previously against even running with McCarthy, it was Coleman playing the right wing position, and Doherty kind of tucked in a little bit at times. So obviously, they've been switched around, so it seems to work a lot better. I thought they were very good. Doherty with number 10 on the back. Just very quickly, just to touch on one or two other players, I think Robinson in a very good game. He played 3 different positions. He played both wings, I think, and striker. Like, that was excellent versatility. We need that in a player. I thought he was really good. And Ogbene really went that team and put everything into that shirt and to that performance. I thought he was excellent. So just wanted to say that before going to 11. Suppose looking at my team then, I know I said previously last week I'd be going with Travers, but then again, Bazunu was very good. He was solid. He was smart. He was logical. Everything he done was just good. Like, he looked like a complete season pro. And as much as I like Travers, I don't think you can leave him out of the team now. If this was a friendly, I'd be saying to start him, but I'd be going my strongest 11 now against Luxembourg as possible. And as you know, we have to freshen up a few players, obviously, but I'll be going my strongest 11 to try and get the win. There's no point in making a wholesale changes. We don't need to. So I'll be going with Bazunu, but I wouldn't be disappointed if Travers plays, but Bazunu just doesn't deserve to be dropped at all. I thought it was great, really good. A few very smart saves, smart catches. Ran on the clock when he had that. Distribution was excellent. Shot stopping was good. Really, really good with his feet too. So I wouldn't be leaving him out. Looking at my backs then, Keith, obviously 3 at the back. I went with the same. I had got Collins in my mind, but I just think Coleman, Duffy and Egan were very, very solid. Obviously, if one of them has a little bit of a knock or they're not fresh, obviously I wouldn't mind Collins coming in and read 3 of them players, but I wouldn't be changing them. They were extremely solid. Probably
also, Daz, I don't think you need to change your backline as much because generally you wouldn't do as much running as a defender as you would in other positions. So I think if they're okay, I'd probably keep with that, for the Luxembourg game. Keep that continuity going there too,
I went with the same fullbacks. Obviously, there's no Robbie Brady. Obviously, McLean came on. I thought he did okay. Obviously, his crossing and touch could have been a bit better, but we said that a lot about him. But obviously, he's an option to come on. He could play different positions, but I wouldn't be changing either Doherty or Stevens unless there's fitness concerns. Obviously, Doherty hasn't been getting much football this season. Stevens is only back a few weeks, so there could be a change there with Kenny. But if there is, obviously, you got Coleman to go into a wide position. You've got McLean on the other side if you really have to. But I don't think there'd be many changes there. I'd be going with the same if they're fit and available. Looking at the midfield, then I'd be bringing in Hurricane. I think he came in and he did well. I know he's only on for a few minutes, but he collected the ball well. He sprayed passes. He put it forward. He put it into the box when he could. I'd start him. I'd bring him in. Set piece taker. I think a few of our set pieces were very wasted the other night. I think if we had someone who was better at putting the ball in, we could have made more from it. So I'm a big fan of him. I'd bring him in. I'd just give him a game. I think he'd do well. Another player I'd bring in then in the midfield would be Knight. Obviously he's one up and coming as well. I think he would suit this game. Very technical, box to box, can get up and down the pitch very well. I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see him start. So there are obviously 2 changes I've made there now. That's only the only 2 so far. Be interested in what people think of that. Let me know below. Obviously, our midfield did very good. I know it's harsh dropping the likes of Cullen and all them, but I'd just like to see what Hurricane and I can do in the midfield together. I'd just bring them in. Looking at the wide players, then obviously the attacking wingers. I went with Robinson on one wing, say the left side. I went Ogbene on the right. I do think Ogbene kind of the last 10 minutes looked very, very tired. So hopefully he might get 60, 70 minutes if he is to start. But I'd definitely like to see them both start. I think they were in their position. They did very, very, very well the last few games. So
also, I think playing the 2 of them potentially as well, a bit more attacking against a team like Luxembourg. Yeah, Jamie McGrath.
Absolutely.
No, don't get me wrong. Jamie McGrath's a good player and he does attack, but he's not like a direct attacker like Ogbene or Robinson. So
the likes of Ogbene's, Robinson's pace and dribbling ability will really go at Luxembourg more so than Portugal, where you might need a pass to open them up rather than a dribble. So I think them changes might be good. I suppose the striker I went with then is probably people will guess this for us. It was Ida. Obviously Kenny's a massive fan of him. He's not getting much game time at club level, as we know. He came on early enough in the second half. I think he did okay. He's a player that Kenny's going to go with, I think, a lot anyway. We don't really have many more options. Obviously, Parrott's there and what have you, and obviously Robinson could play there if I'm putting her the winger there. But I think I'd give him more experience. He can hold the ball up. We've got the other 2 lads in the wings who are very capable as well of cutting in, getting the goal, putting the ball in, running off the shoulder of the defender and just getting by with pace, and leave Ida as a big awkward forward, as a tall target man. But I'd like to see that. So I think that would work.
Yeah, I think with Ida, though, he gives us more functionality than any of the other strikers in the central position, because he can play a number of games. He can run the channels left and right. He can play that game. He can come short and he's able to hold up the ball and link people into the game. But he can also get his arse into a defender as well. Yeah. So he has that capability as well. The only thing he's short of is probably goals, but he offers so much else in terms of the way he functions. And believe it or not, in the Portugal match, when I was looking at it, particularly in the first half, I felt that maybe Ida could have started and we could have got Ogbene and Robinson in around them, because I think they done well individually, but they no one to link it up, if you get me. So I think there was a possibility there, wasn't there, against Portugal? So yeah.
Definitely. And as well as that, obviously Robinson got changed a few times in the game position-wise. So obviously Kenny was kind of thinking we need someone to do something different in the striker area. Obviously against Portugal, it's going to be very, very hard. No matter who you put up there, it's going to be very hard. But Robinson was changed. I think just having Ida there and having Robinson playing off him and having link-up play might work very, very well. And as I said, I was very impressed with Ogbene, and hopefully he's going to be one now. It's going to go forward for Ireland and go strength to strength. I think he's done ever so well since he came in. Definitely warranted his place in the team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So you actually made 3 changes, which seems fair enough. It'll be interesting what the guys think of the comments. Let us know. Would you make many changes? How big of a game is this game against Luxembourg? Should Kenny stay on? I think he should. I think it'd be unfair at this stage, but that's a conversation for another day. But hopefully we can kick on against Luxembourg. Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the video. Hit your bell notification button so you don't miss a video. And thanks for watching.